So the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta war is not over. We are currently in round 2, and the new contestants or competitors in the arena seem to be Black Shark and Kong/New Moon. Alright guys, welcome back to the Dragon Ball figure recap. First of all, as usual, for premium scam die, the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta DAIMA pre-orders have now closed for that, so if you wanted to get that, that window has passed, okay? As for the Raccoon, pre-orders are still open for this. No closing date is here yet, okay? So there's that. And the Gogeta SDCC thing is still here, $80 for that. This Gotenks thing, $70 for that SDCC pickup as well. And this Mini Goku, $50, Super Saiyan Son Goku Mini DAIMA, SDCC 2026 pickup as well. As I've said before, I do not recommend pre-ordering anything from Premium Scam Die. First of all, because of their horrible return policy, and also because, you know, I mean, it is possible that we'll see like a third-party clone or something for better value or something in the future. Like, you know, these prices are just absolutely insane. So I just don't recommend pre-ordering anything from this website. Okay, just don't do it. Moving on now. So the first we're gonna go through like all the Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Best Buy kind of stuff, and then I want to go over some SH Figuarts Dragon Ball figures that I would like to see get affordable, good quality clones, bootlegs, third-party versions, whatever name you want to use for them, okay? So first let's cover these. Super Saiyan Goku, not Super Saiyan, the regular base Goku DAIMA, still available, $31.99, alright? And Barnes & Noble has it as well, $38. They have free shipping on orders, $60 or more, okay? The Kid Goku here, no featured offers, so this should still be like out of stock on dbfix.com. The Vegeta DAIMA here as well, also no featured offer, but Barnes & Noble does have that one right here for $38 in stock, okay? So if you want that, they still have it. As for the Mini Vegeta, right here, $31.54, and I have a coupon offer for $22.07, which I think is a pretty good price for this figure. It's a very small figure, dude. You shouldn't be paying like, you know, $40 really for something like this, and I don't think it has like a bunch of accessories or anything either, you know. As for Piccolo DAIMA, this one I made a post about this. This has a sale going on, $56.70, and according to the scamculation that I did a while ago, this price should be about $51. So this is very close. I mean, basically, since shipping is free, this is basically like the proper price for this figure, okay? Not like $75 or whatever. So if you want this, I think right now is a very good time to get it. It says the offer, the limited time deal, is 74% claimed. So if you want it, better to act sooner rather than later before it, like, you know, the deal ends or whatever. As for the Mini Piccolo, let's see here, $40.99 in stock, no coupon offer. Oh wait, this is not Amazon. Hold on, does Amazon have stock of this? Dude, I've tried so many things to get this nonsense to stop refreshing these tabs. Let me see. Does Amazon? Yeah, they do have it actually. Yeah, Amazon has it here, $44.24. Coupon offer, $30.96, which I think is a very good price for this as well, based on the scamculation I did before, okay? Shenron, $120, shipped and sold by Amazon.com right here. This Proud Namekian Piccolo, currently $88.16, so the price for this thing is all over the place. One week it's $109 or $110, another week it's 70 something, then it's 80 something. I don't know why Amazon keeps changing the price. Like, why are they always changing the price? Like, I don't get it. Just like keep the price at one price, dude, or like I don't know what's going on with that. But anyways, if you want to pre-order that, up to you. Frieza and the Pod, being released on November 14th, 2026, $98, shipped and sold by Amazon.com. And the Frieza 4th Form, the Universe's Bottomless Power, being released on December 25th, 2026, $36.09. I will probably be getting this myself. Legendary Super Saiyan Goku, shipped and sold by Amazon.com, $71.99 right here. And Barnes & Noble, I just saw this one today. Barnes & Noble has this Goku as well, $68, and actually a bit cheaper than Amazon, so you'll save a bit if you get it from them instead of Amazon. And they have, of course, free shipping on orders $60 or more, and since this is $68, that is free shipping right there, okay? Best Buy also has this Goku figure, $71.99, or 4 payments starting at $18 with zip, okay? This Gohan Z Fighters being released on February 19th, 2027 for $70. And I wanted to show this right here. Korea News posted this image. I guess there's a new image, you know, showing more, you know, stuff about this Gohan figure and whatever. So, you know, it's supposed to basically recreate this pose right here, the Z Fighters pose, like the Dragon Ball Z intro or whatever. So, you know, the Gohan has group-based version A, and then 2 other figures, I guess, will have the version B and the version C, okay? I mean, as I said, the Gohan figure, like, the hips, he has a similar design to, like, ugly, like, Games Begin hips, but they don't look as awful. They seem a bit more seamless. So I'm kind of interested in the figure itself, but I'm not interested in paying $70 when I don't care about a base and all that kind of stuff. So if they do re-release it cheaper at some point, like a $38 version without the base, I might get that. Or if there's a third-party clone. I mean, like, I think a while ago, I think it was Air Studio. Air Studio was working on, like, some Gohan head sculpts with this kind of hairstyle. That was probably, like, 2 years ago, I think. So I don't know if they're still making those or what's the deal with that. Now, I mean, they might not even continue with that project since this is being released, you know? But hopefully we see an affordable version of this at some point. I don't feel like paying $70 for this little thing when I don't care about the base. So yeah, I mean, I expect the other 2 figures to probably be a base form Vegeta, the base form Vegeta they've shown before, as well as the Trunks with just like the tank top without the jacket. I expect that to be the other release, so, you know, BNC or whatever, okay? As far as Tien, Chaozu, Yamcha, Proud Namekian Piccolo is probably the one to go there. This Krillin is currently on pre-order at Amazon. You know, I guess they might reissue the Tien and Chaozu. If it's some insane price, I probably won't get it and hope there's some sort of like third-party clone or something. Same thing for Yamcha. I think these are all included. Well, Yamcha was in the premium scam die video. I did a video like probably last week or 2 weeks ago talking about premium scam die figures that I want to see get affordable bootlegs, and that Yamcha was in there. As for Tien and Chaozu, I think they're in today's video that I'll be working on. Like basically the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball figures that I want to see get affordable bootlegs, apart from the ones I've covered already. Tien and Chaozu, I believe, are in there. Okay, so yeah. All right, so let's now move on. Boy from the Future Trunks. This one is available $75.99, shipped and sold by Amazon.com. The Latent Power Trunks is here as well, available for pre-order. This is a reissue. It says shipped and sold by Amazon.com, being released on October 23rd, 2026. Barnes & Noble has it here in stock, though, not a pre-order, for $35 in stock right now. And Amazon has another listing here where it's in stock, $35.99, shipped and sold by Amazon.com. Krillin Earth's Strongest Man, up for pre-order, $65.10, shipped and sold by Amazon.com. It says free delivery Monday, August 17th. Games Begin Goku is currently in stock, shipped and sold by Amazon.com, $35.99. Barnes & Noble also has it right here, $38 in stock. The Gohan Who Surpassed Goku, I don't see any like Amazon.com direct listing for this. I still don't see that, only third-party sellers. Dangerous Pride Vegeta is now available. Okay, I made a post about this, and my review for this is like almost complete. I just have to add some like B-roll footage and that kind of stuff, so that review should be up tomorrow. Okay, shipped and sold by Amazon.com, $35.99. And Barnes & Noble has it up for pre-order, so their release date is after Amazon. Amazon was June 29th, I think. This one's July 15th. So yeah, if you want to get it from them, you got to wait a bit more. And the 2.0 Super Saiyan Vegeta, no featured offer here, but Barnes & Noble does still have it for $35 in stock right now. Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku, $33.13, shipped and sold by Amazon.com. And Barnes & Noble has the same figure, $38 in stock right now. Kind-Hearted Saiyan Goku, $35.99, being released on July 30th, 2026. The Best Buy listing I showed you all before, it's now sold out, so that Goku is not available from here any longer, okay? Cell First Form reissue being released. Oh, this is available right now. This is in stock right now. $78.45, shipped and sold by Amazon.com. Barnes & Noble has it as well. $80 reissue in stock. Of course, that's free shipping because it's more than $60. Super Saiyan 3 Goku, $55.42 in stock, shipped and sold by Amazon.com. GameStop has it as well. $61.99, $58.89 for pros, and it says zip or pay in installments as low as $16.50. Okay, free shipping on orders $79+ from GameStop. Super Boo reissue, $71.24. I think the price has gone down a bit. Being released on January 22nd, 2027. Shipped and sold by Amazon.com. Unwavering Saiyan Pride Vegeta, $38 in stock. Shipped and sold by Amazon.com. And Barnes & Noble has the same figure for $38 in stock. GameStop has this Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black reissue, $39.99 or $37.99 for pros. Zip or pay in installments as low as $11, okay? And of course, free shipping on orders $79+. The Broly is still not available from Amazon.com directly. I see Amazon resale, of course, and third-party sellers and stuff like that. But GameStop does still have it here, $99.99 or $94.99 for pros, and zip or pay in installments as low as $26, okay? And since it's above $79, that's free shipping right there. Best Buy also has that figure, but their price is a bit higher than I've seen in like other places generally, so it's $109.99, but it does say sold by Best Buy. So yeah, anyways, if you want that, it says 4 payments starting, it says either $109.99 or 4 payments starting at $27.50 with zip, okay? This red Goku here recently released in China and Japan, being released on September 15th, 2026 here on Amazon, $35.99. Best Buy has the 2.0 version of that right here. Yeah, so it's $31.99, and it says sign in or create an account for free shipping, okay? Barnes & Noble also has this 2.0 Goku right here, $38 in stock. And I wanted to show this here just to like, this is some like different head sculpts on the body and stuff like that. But I literally just wanted to highlight these hips, man. Look at that. Like, just look at this stuff, dude. Oh my goodness, man. I just had to show that. Oh my goodness. Anyways, Blue Goku here, $35.99, being released on October 14th, 2026, shipped and sold by Amazon.com. The 2.0 Blue Goku, $38 in stock right now from Barnes & Noble. Piccolo Superhero Reissue, being released on October 23rd, 2026. Yep. And GT Kid Goku is still quite a bit on sale right now, $36.95. I mean, that is, I think, the lowest price I've ever seen for this. So if you want to get this, this might be one of the best opportunities to get this figure that I've ever seen. I don't know if the price will ever go like this again. I mean, this could even be, they could be getting low on stock and just want to like get rid of this thing, and that might be why the price has dropped so much. It's almost like $20 off, so 32% off. So if you want that, I think this is probably like one of the best times to get it, if not the best time I've ever seen. And Barnes & Noble has it as well for $54 in stock right now, okay? Now before we go to the third-party stuff, let's move on to the premium, well no, just SH Figuarts Dragon Ball figures in general that I would like to see get affordable clones, you know, third-party versions, bootlegs, whatever. Alright, so first we have Raditz. I, of course, would be very interested in an affordable version of this. The price, this is DBZSHFigs.com, by the way. That's what we're using for these, like, you know, this purpose, just to see, like, because it also has the price in, like, I guess, US dollars, not like Japanese yen, like Tamashii Web would have or whatever. So $70 was the original price for this. Insane price, okay? I haven't done a scamculation for this, but I would like to see a better value version of this, okay? If this figure was, let's say, currently it's on the scalper market. So if it wasn't being completely scalped insanely, I might have started Dragon Ball Thunder from the Saiyan saga instead of like Goku versus Frieza. But even if this was currently available at retail, $70 is still way too much for this, okay? This should be like, I don't know, I'm guessing probably like, you know, 50 max or something, possibly. But I'd have to do a scan calculation to get an exact price, you know what I mean? And I would prefer this color scheme, not the like SDCC color scheme or whatever, so there's that. Nappa. Now for Nappa, this one was $75. I actually I owned this figure years ago. I had this figure years ago, but I sold it a while ago as well. So I'd like to see an affordable version of this, of course, but I prefer to see the SDCC colors because these are more like anime colors, okay? And this one was $70. I want to know, how was the SDCC one less than the regular one? This is 75 and this is 70. How is that? I don't even know. That's weird. Anyways, next is Grade Ape Vegeta. I'd like to see an affordable version of this. This Vegeta figure, I think personally, the thing I'd most want to use it for would be like for a manga cover or something, because I think there's a manga cover with like Grade Ape Vegeta, like behind Goku and that kind of stuff, so there's that. The price for this was $180, which, I mean, it's like not absolutely completely insane, I don't think. I don't know. The figure is pretty large, but then again, if you compare it to Storm Arena, you know, it's probably not large enough to justify this kind of price tag. So if I were to see like a bootleg of this or something for like, I don't know, $100 or even, I don't know, $80, something like that, because I think there's actually like, there is or was a bootleg of the SH Figuarts Shenron that's like dirt cheap. Like, I can't remember the price really, but it's like less than $100. It's like something pretty cheap, and I heard the bootleg is like, well, I saw based on reviews and stuff, I think like it's not like horrible quality. So I think we could see an affordable version of this. I think $100, even if it's good quality, of course, would be like a solid price to pay for like this kind of figure here. $180 though, just like pretty high up there, okay? I don't think it necessarily needs to be that much. This Yamcha here, Saiyan Saga Yamcha, original price was $65, and keep in mind that was in 2017. So if we adjust that for inflation and stuff, it's probably going to be like, what, 70 something dollars, 80 something dollars possibly by today's like currency rates or whatever, the value of today's currency. So way too high of a price tag for this. This should basically just be like a $38 figure, dude. Like what is this? Look at what's in the box. Like, look at what you're getting and look at the price tag in 2017. So the price is even higher if you go based on today, like inflation and stuff, dude. $65 for this nonsense here. No, okay? Next, oh, I want to say though, if DB Toys, for example, were to make a clone of this, I think honestly the best move would be for them to actually clone those JR Studio Yamcha head sculpts and use those instead of the SH Figuarts ones, because the SH Figuarts ones are like way more basic than the JR Studio. So I think if they were to do that and use those head sculpts, it would make it even superior to the SH Figuarts as far as the artistic value is concerned, okay? Next, we have Tien and Chaozu, this little Chaozu statue thing. December 2017 release date, the original price, $67 in 2017. So today, that'd probably be like 70 something dollars, 80 something dollars possibly for this, dude. Like, you're not even getting anything with this thing, okay? So insane price tag for sure. This should once again be like a $38, $40 figure or something. You know what I mean, man? So, yeah. Next, we have Bardock here. January 2021 release date. Original price, $55.99. Not the most insane price tag ever, but still more than this should be, because look at what you're getting, man. I mean, what, 4 expressions, some hands, this ball thing. Like $55.99 for what reason, dude? Just because the name is Figuarts, man? No. So I'd like to see an affordable version of this to basically go along with the one that's getting released the end of this year, I think it is. But if DB Toys were to make this Bardock, I'd want them to do this. What they should do is, first of all, change the color scheme, or at least have 2 versions, right? One version with the original color scheme like this, and another version with the darker green, because this lighter color scheme here is more similar to the episode of Bardock thing on like Planet Plant or whatever, And the darker green is more similar to the Bardock, the father of Goku TV special, okay? I don't really care about the Planet Plant color scheme kind of thing, so I'd like to see a version of this with like dark green, okay? And also, they should clone or recast the DKO Recustom Bardock head sculpts and use those instead of this like more like basic, like, you know, frankly kind of ugly looking stuff that SH Figuarts made, okay? And now, Goku's old friend, infamous on this channel, infamous Scammery. The price for this, according to my scamculation, should be about $42, not $80, okay? So I'd like to see an affordable version of this. I think the figure, like, looks pretty good, apart from the lack of shading and detail. Like, I think artistically, it looks like the anime and stuff like that. With a price tag, insane, $80, little tiny figure, no, okay? Next, we have Son Gohan Kid Era. Now, this figure, the body is really kind of, you know, I guess kind of ugly aesthetically, okay? But I would still be interested in this personally if I were to get an affordable version of it available. November 2020, original price $52. And look at what you're getting, man. Seriously. I mean, seriously, man. Look at what you're getting here for $52 in 2020. 6 years ago, almost 6 years ago, right? So the price today would be higher if you adjust for inflation or whatever, probably like what, $60 for this? And it's a little figure, dude. Insane. It's indefensible, man. People defend Premium Bandai and Scam Die and all this stuff, dude. It's ridiculous. You gotta be insane, dude, to think this is what, $60 and all that. What? You gotta be kidding, man. Anyways, moving on now. Zarbon True Power. July 2025, price $85, okay? $85, for what reason, man? For what reason? Tell me. Someone give me a reason that makes sense. You can't, okay? $85 for what, right? Because it's premium scam die, okay? Remember, as I said before, the argument of exclusives have to cost more because they make less or whatever. Bandai doesn't get to use that excuse because even many of their general releases are overpriced. So it's not like the general releases have good prices and then only the premium scam die ones have high prices or whatever. No, even many general releases are scams, okay? So that argument cannot work. You can't defend it, okay? You can't. It's logic. It's basic logic here. So Zarbon True Power, $85, insane. If I had to guess, I would guess this should probably be about, what, $45, $50, something like that, max, basically, okay? Let's see here, Captain Ginyu. So, July 2020, $66. If you adjust for inflation, it's probably like $70-something by today's standards. Way too high of a price tag. As far as I know, WP Model doesn't plan to make like a Captain Ginyu clone, and I don't really care, to be honest. Their prices are too high anyways. I'd rather see someone else who has better prices make a Captain Ginyu clone. I know DF made their Captain Ginyu a while ago, and it's probably a bit cheaper than the SH Figuarts one, but it just doesn't look very good to me. So I'd like to see an affordable clone of this Captain Ginyu here. And of course, as far as the Ginyu Force is concerned, I could use them to make like the manga cover where they're all standing in front of each other or whatever, you know? Raccoon. So of course, it says April 2021 release date, price $72, insanity. Now, this Raccoon figure, WP Model did make a clone of this, but their price was insane, like $78, $80, whatever, like way too high of a price tag. Defeats the whole purpose, dude. I mean, if you're gonna buy the WP Model Raccoon for $78, $80 or whatever, you may as well have got this. It's like, it's not a better deal than this. And I mean, look at the price is even lower, $72. Of course, this is like 5 years ago, so inflation and all that stuff. But like, I guess what WP Model basically did is try to price their Ginyu Force figure, at least for Raccoon, at basically, you know, like the same kind of price as the original price. No. You're making a clone. You're making a bootleg. It should be cheaper than the official figure originally was, okay? Not the same price. Cheaper, not the same price. You can't make a bootleg of something and charge the same price as it originally was, dude. Like, what is this? Anyways, let's see. So, SH Figuarts Raccoon, the Nightmare Raccoon, up for pre-order right now on Premium Scam Die, $85. I like how this figure looks, apart from the lack of shading and detail, generally. Like, look how plain that is. $85, you can't even shade the thing, dude. Ridiculous. So, this right here, I would like to get this figure for a decent price, okay? For a decent price. And keep in mind, dude, that like basically all of these figures, like basically every single SH Figuarts figure suffers from poor shading, okay? I mean, even the Yamcha here has some shading on the pants and stuff, but it doesn't really look good. It just looks like his clothes are wet or something. It doesn't look like, you know, like good detail. Look at the skin, plain, no shading on the arms, and you're asking $65 for this stuff. At least give people artistic stuff that looks like it deserves the price tag. At least make stuff look like it deserves the price tag. This is basic stuff, dude. This is basic stuff. This is stuff that should be on the aisle in Target. This should be on a Target shelf, dude. Like, this is nothing special, incredible, amazing artistic detail. No. What is this? This is very basic stuff, dude. This is not some amazing artistic stuff here, man. If you want to see amazing artistic stuff, look at Storm Arena, okay? Look at that Biscuit Oliva. Looks like a Hall of Fame statue. Looks incredible. That is what a premium figure looks like. Not this, okay? Not this. Not this at all. This is not what a premium figure should look like, dude. Okay, this is not premium. Don't delude yourself thinking this is premium, dude. This is not premium stuff. This is very basic stuff, man. Okay? Look at like even 1/6 scale. Look at Hot Toys, for example, right? That's what premium figures look like. And Storm Arena basically looks like smaller versions of those. Like, that's how good Storm Arena looks. Storm Arena looks like smaller versions of like those highly detailed 1/6 scale figures that actually look like premium artistic collectibles. That's what they look like. This does not look like that at all, okay? $65? No. So all of these figures, man, they would look a lot better if they had great shading, okay? They're so plain. So plain. How can a premium line have such poor shading? This is unacceptable, okay? Unacceptable. So if DB Toys were to make clones of these or whatever, if they were to add good shading to really highlight the details, look at TN. Look how plain this is. No shading on that. At least I can't tell if I can't see anything. The pants might have some shading. Yeah, it looks like that, but nothing up here. Nothing. Just plain. This is a premium figure, dude? No. Okay, no. Just because you call something premium doesn't make it premium. Just because you charge $85 doesn't make it actually a better product, okay? Just because something has a higher price tag doesn't actually mean the product is better, okay? It just has a high price tag. Let's move on now. So next one, Birder and Guldo, okay? May 2021, $90, dude. $90. And Guldo's not even a figure, it's just a statue, basically. So $90 for a Birder figure with barely any expressions or anything, and a Guldo statue. Insanity. You cannot defend this nonsense, okay? I would like to get an affordable Birder. WP Model is currently working on a Birder, but their price is like $78. What's the point of that? I may as well have bought this, right, than buy that. I mean, it's not really that much of a difference, you know, $80 compared to $90, okay? So no, I want to see someone else who charges good prices and stuff, preferably DB Toys, make good affordable clones of the Ginyu Force. And as for Guldo, I think the best thing to do would be to either make your own Guldo from scratch or clone DF's Guldo, okay? Nail, $80, dude. $80. And it looks like a Toys R Us exclusive, dude. I mean, look at this. Look at this thing right here, man. Does that look premium to you? Does that look absolutely incredible? No, this is very basic stuff, man. This is very basic stuff. And the thing is, like, I don't intrinsically have a problem with more basic looking figures. Like Jada toys don't look like that incredible. They're like kind of basic figures, you know, but the price tags are pretty good. So I'm okay with that. If your figures are more simple, they're not like, you know, highly detailed and stuff like that, then you charge lower prices. But if you're charging these insane price tags, I want to see the manga in figure form. I want to see the anime in figure form. I don't want to see this basic looking stuff here, man. I want good detail, shading, sculpting. I want to feel like, man, this thing looks awesome. This is definitely worth $80, dude. Definitely worth the money. This thing is awesome. This is not just a kid's toy. But look at this, you know? Look at this. $80 for what reason? Okay, for what reason? You can't justify this stuff, man. Now, Guru, March 2026, 310. So, this figure here, I will say I like the sculpt of this. Just like basically all 6 Figuarts, it has poor shading and detail. But the sculpt of it, I think, looks pretty good. But it's basically just a statue. When I think I did a scamculation for this, did I? No, I don't think I did. But if I saw like an affordable clone of this for like, you know, $100 or something, then I'd be like, okay, if it's like decent quality, good quality, whatever, $100 for this instead of $310, okay, you know, it's a massive thing. Like, I mean, look how small Nail looks compared to this thing, right? It's a massive thing. For $100 or something, I'd be like, okay, cool, you know. Purunga, same thing. I did do a scamculation for this. The original price, $300, December 2022. According to my scamculation, this should be $154. That's what that's the price this should have been in the past, right? $154. So a bootleg, clone, whatever you want to call it. I mean, same thing like Guru, you know, $100 for a massive Purunga clone or whatever. I'd be like, okay, you know, I think that's like a decent price, you know, if it's good quality. Of course, it's not like this falling apart garbage. Let's see here. Krillin Battle Clothes. October 2022, $60. This little figure, I mean, it's not like stacked with accessories or anything, right? Why is it $60? Why? For what reason? And that's October 2022. That's not 2026. So if you adjust for inflation, that might be what, $65, $70 possibly, right? For this little thing. Not much accessories really. I mean, it has like, you know, whatever. It's not, there's no justification for this, okay? So there currently are, or at least recently there were, bootlegs of this for like, I think $50 free shipping possibly from China. The bootlegs of this, you know, I've heard that like the quality's all over the place. Some copies might have good quality. Some copies might have trash quality. If DB Toys were to make this and generally have like pretty good quality for a decent price, I mean, this should probably be like $30 max, honestly. It's such a small figure too, you know, 30 max, I'd say for this probably, okay? Or even 20 something, I don't know. Like, this is just insane, all right? Next, we have Gohan Battle Clothes. Now, I do have a bootleg of this, which is horrible. I mean, the quality is horrible. The quality is so horrible that I had to like, I think I glued the legs onto the body so they'd stop falling off, okay? Like, that's how bad it is. So, once again, $60 for what reason? Look at this. $60 for what? $60 for what, man? I don't understand this. And look how plain it is. Look how plain. You can't deny how plain this is. Look how plain this is. No shading on this thing or anything. Just a plain, basic little figure. $60, dude? For what? And look, approximately 3.9 inches height. 60. What? Dude. So yeah, it's just like the Krillin. Probably 20-something dollars, $30, something like that. Would be, I think, a decent price for this. $60, dude. Absolute insanity. Now, due to artistic necessity, I might end up buying a scalped copy of this in the future for Dragon Ball Thunder, because especially for when Gohan fights Frieza, I think I might need to get an official figure for that, because the bootleg is just so horrible. I don't think it could really work very well for that. So I might end up buying a scalped version of this in the future. But it's not because I want to buy a scalped version of this. there is no other Gohan of this, of like a similar articulation style or anything, you know? It's like, as I've said before, we're stuck with Bandai, dude. There's no other company in the world making articulated Dragon Ball figures. The only option you have is a scalping company, dude, okay? That's it. We're stuck with scamming Bandai. Next, we have this Vegeta Battle Clothes. So this thing right here, $60, high price tag. I don't think it's that like insane price necessarily, like absolutely insane, but like still should be lower. This should probably be like a $38, $40 figure, that kind of price range. Perhaps you could say 50 because of these pieces or whatever, but yeah, 60 is still too high for this, man. Too high for this. So yeah, and the face sculpts are not even really very good. I mean, look at this thing. Look at this. Doesn't look very good at all, okay? Does not look very good at all. I think this one looks kind of cool, you know? This one might be okay-ish. But yeah, overall though, not like the high. Look at this. This is not great, right? This yelling one here. This is not a premium line, man, okay? That's not what a premium figure should look like. A premium figure should look like I just took Vegeta off of a manga page and I have him as a figure, man. That's what it should look like, okay? Not this kind of generic kind of stuff. It's ridiculous. Next, we have Tien and Chaozu, the like Android or Cell Saga version. $80. Now, let's see. If Tien, let's say Tien, I mean, he only has 3 head sculpts. So let's say Tien is worth like what? Let's say 35 for Tien. This little Chaozu with no accessories or anything really. Probably extra different hands, I think. Let's say what for this Chaozu? $20. So 35, 20, 55. This should probably be about $50, $60 or something like that, possibly. $80 in 2021. Scam, of course, okay? And if you adjust for inflation, then this is going to be probably like, what, 85, 90, possibly more than that, okay? So, yeah. Affordable version of this is needed, okay? Decent quality, not like falling apart garbage. And then finally we have Hercule here. $77. And for what exactly? Why is it $77? I don't get it. Now I will say, I think the sculpts of this, the face sculpts, are like some of the best Bandai has done. Like this is pretty cool. It looks pretty similar to the anime, I think. If it actually had good shading and stuff like that, then I think this would be a pretty solid figure. But look how plain the pants are. No shading on that. Not that I can tell. Look at this right here. I don't see any shading on that either. So just like once again, plain. You know, it's not a premium thing. You know what I mean, man? So yeah. So this is the basically second part of SH Figuarts Dragon Ball figures that I'd like to see get affordable bootlegs or third-party clones or whatever. If DB Toys sees this, hopefully, you know, they get some ideas from this and stuff like that. And if you want other figures to be remade or cloned or whatever, be sure to comment though so they can see it, or comment on Instagram or whatever. All right, now let's move on to the third-party stuff. All right, so first, it is now time for Brain Power Acknowledgement. Now, if I'm pressed for time, well, if I'm not pressed for time, then I should have added like a special graphic intro kind of like thing there. But if I'm pressed for time, then I gave you just like a bootleg version for now. And in the future, I'll probably add like a special like, you know, intro thing for Brain Power Acknowledgement. Now, what is Brain Power Acknowledgement? This is basically just a segment of these recaps where I want to highlight people who I see like online, like whether it's Instagram, YouTube, something like that, saying intelligent things about Dragon Ball figures, Bandai, and that kind of stuff, okay? Because I feel like generally there's like basically the Bandai army is very large. People who like defend Bandai and they say, oh, stop complaining and all that kind of stuff like that. And I'm like, no. Someone has to criticize this garbage, okay? So I want to encourage people who do criticize this garbage, who do say intelligent things and who do actually think critically and reasonably about the information they're presented with, okay? I think they're just like, there's too many people who want to just like bury their heads in the sand and act like everything's perfect and everything's great and oh, I love you Bandai, thank you Tamashii. Enough of that nonsense, okay? There's enough of that. If you want to see someone doing that, there are tons of channels out there doing that. You can watch them. But if you want to see someone who does not like Bandai, who criticizes them heavily, constantly, then this is the channel for you, okay? So I want to encourage people who do that kind of stuff. So this right here, this is on a Courier News post. The first one, the first acknowledgement, is on a Courier News post about the new like MP and DDG Goku and Frieza set with the base and all that, okay? Now we're going to talk about that in a bit more detail later, but this person here, Mexican Blade, they said combo of multiple head sculpts on the market, plus a Frieza and the HM kit. Basically, this is going to be worth the money instead of just 3 face sculpts, okay? And I assume they're talking about like GM Studio, which is just like 3 face sculpts for a very similar price to this. And look at what you're getting here, right? You're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 face sculpts for Goku. 3 different kinds of hair. You're getting this Frieza head sculpt right here. These accessories for the like battle damage or whatever when it got cut in half and stuff. And then you've got this base here. And there might be some sort of like transparent stand or something like that. I'm not sure what this is exactly. I guess this is just like these pieces or something, like a piece like that. So great value compared to something like GM Studio, which is like $40 to $50, something like that, for just 3 expressions and 1 kind of hair and stuff, dude, like nonsense. So shout out to Mexican Blade for making that astute observation that this is obviously way better value, way more worth your money than getting 3 face sculpts from GM Studio for like $50, okay? So there we go with that. First acknowledgement. The second acknowledgement is on another Courier News post. Now this post was about the kanji scratching off issue with the new like red Goku figure that released recently in China and Japan. And this person here, Burning Mango _ZZZ, said Skamashi Nations strikes again. And yes, that is a very good name for them, Skamashi Nations. Of course, I often call Premium Bandai Premium Scamdai, so this is in a similar, you know, kind of play on words there. So Skamashi Nations, I like that. Shout out to that person for that. And the third and final one for today, this is on a review for the Kind-Hearted Saiyan Goku by eRivera94, and of course I have no beef with eRivera94 or anything like that, but I just saw this comment and wanted to highlight this person. It says at Keeper Plus, I believe, and they said none of them need to be more than $40. P Bandai is a scam. And yes, I agree, P Bandai is a scam. Now, regarding the $40, I do think that some SH Figuarts figures are like, you know, appropriately priced at more than $40, but not as dramatically more as Bandai tends to charge. For example, the DAIMA Piccolo, right? According to my scamculation, that should be like $51. But what is the so-called MSRP for that? Like $75, right? Way too much. Bandai always charges more for those figures than they should be charging, in my opinion, okay? So I support this person's intention here of just pointing out the scamming of P Bandai. Yes, P Bandai is a scam. And keep in mind that it's not only P Bandai that scams you. Even a lot of general releases are scams as well. That Piccolo, for example, if you paid $75 for that, you got scammed. The Boy from the Future Trunks, like $75, $80, scam, okay? Glorio, $95, scam. Frieza and the Pod, like $98 on Amazon right now, scam, okay? The Gohan Who Surpassed Goku, $65, scam. So those are not Premium Bandai exclusives, okay? So not only P Bandai is a scam, but also a lot of general releases are scams as well. So thank you to Keeper Plus for at least like voicing that right there and pointing out Bandai's scammery. Let's now move on to the like news in general. So Black Shark, first of all, they're making, I assume they're actually, I'm not sure if they're making a figure and a base, or just like a leg and a base or something like that. To me, it'd be kind of weird if they made just a base and the leg and not the figure, or like the hands as well or whatever, because then you'd have to, like, I guess, heat up your Boy from the Future Trunks figure and remove the leg. But it wasn't like designed, I don't think, with that, you know, it wasn't designed in a way to be like favorable to doing that. You know what I mean? Like the figure it wasn't made for that purpose. So I think it would be better for them to make basically a clone of the Boy from the Future Trunks figure where the legs are like more easily detachable or something like that. And it includes this base and the hands and whatever. But if you have to actually like pick apart your Boy from the Future Trunks figure, which was not originally designed with that intention, then I think that could cause some problems. Like, for example, the Air HM Battle Damage Teen Gohan stuff. Like, I saw some people had issues with that, like it not, you know, working properly, or they might have damaged their figure trying to put those accessories on and stuff like that. So I do think if Black Shark is making something like this, it'd be better for them to just clone that Trunks figure and redesign the leg joints in such a way that they can be easily removed and you wouldn't risk breaking your figure and stuff like that as much, okay? So you've got that. Yeah. Let's see, this other one here, another look at Black Shark working on their Goku. Looks really, really good. I mean, it makes Bandai look very basic. I mean, I've said this before, it's just undeniable, okay? If you look at the manga, you look at the anime, you look at this, you look at Bandai, how can you not see that Bandai's just making this basic stuff, okay? This is like, this looks really, really cool. I really like how that looks. Even the nose and everything, the sculpt of the nose, even the way the nose looks better than Bandai, man. Like, even the nose, dude, okay? Crazy, man, crazy, crazy, crazy. Here's another look. Looks like it has some degree of shading going on there, possibly. I'm not sure. Looks like there might be some shading in the pants. The paint quality looks pretty good, but the paint, also the texture, looks kind of hand painted. So I guess this is like, I think they said they're like testing this out or whatever. You know, this is not like the final product, I don't think. I think these are like tests, okay? So it does look kind of hand painted to me, or possibly like spray painted or something. It doesn't look like the plastic is molded in that color, you know what I mean? Then we have this right here, of course, for hiding the gaps that Goku design tends to have. You have these right here, okay? And then look at these expressions. So this is Career News and Black Shark. Let's see, and it says, and printing, BSM and Printing Works, would you want to see more Goku face sculpt releases? Let us know in the comments. And yes, I would personally, I would love to see Black Shark release a Goku head sculpt set that has, you know, at least neutral, teeth gritted, yelling, okay? Those three things. Those are like the three core expressions I think basically every Dragon Ball figure needs. Neutral, teeth gritted, yelling. After you have those, then I'd also like to see, like, you know, this kind of stuff, more like goofy kind of things, you know, happy expressions, those kinds of things like that, you know. But I think Black Shark, man, as far as face sculpts go, Black Shark might be the best in the business right now. Like, they might be the best Dragon Ball face sculptor on the earth that I'm aware of. I think they might be the best, because this looks pretty fantastic. This looks really cool. You know, I'd like to see, personally, I'd like to see these side by side with the anime or side by side with the manga, just so I can get a more accurate assessment of how, like, you know, spot on they are. But these look, of course, these blow Bandai out of the water, so there's not even any competition there, okay? You have this. Yeah, it looks like it's like spray painted or something. Okay, so it seems they're trying to add a bit of shading to this, possibly. If Black Shark is planning to add shading to this, then I appreciate that. Even though I'm not planning to get these Goku figures because they have the ugly Games Begin hips. I have no plan to get those. But I do appreciate if Black Shark is going to add some shading to this thing to really make it look better. I really would like to see more studios and stuff starting to incorporate good shading, like actual good shading, okay? Bandai has set a very poor artistic standard of not shading the figures very well. The figures are very plain. Even the ones on premium scam die that should be like, you know, these high-end premium collectibles or whatever, even they don't have great shading, okay? So the only SH Figuarts Dragon Ball figure that I think has like really good shading is probably the Genki Damatsuri Goku. I think that's probably the only one. I think, wait, there's a Broly, there was like an exclusive version of Broly in the armor that might have had good shading as well, but Genki Damatsuri Goku for sure. I think that is like, Genki Damatsuri Goku, dude, is basically how all SH Figuarts should look. That's basically how they should look. That kind of detail, that kind of shading and stuff, all of that stuff, dude, that should be the standard for a line that calls itself SH Figuarts and claims to be premium and claims to charge and charges so-called premium prices, okay? You can't be charging premium prices and giving people basic figures, dude. Insanity. So it says color proofing progress. I guess, once again, they're testing this stuff out. You've got that right there, and you can see it seems there's some like orange, you know, spray paint on their hands and stuff like that on the hand there. So yeah, okay, cool. Now the color of this is a bit light. I guess it's more like, let's see, this one here is more like, it's more like manga color, you know, but it is what it is. If you prefer, you know, more saturated anime colors, then you might not like this color scheme right here, okay? This is more like, you know, more like the anime Super Saiyan color scheme, and not really the anime base form color scheme, right? So moving on now, let's see what's next. So this Vegeta thing here, so Black Shark again, my apologies there. So Black Shark is working on, I guess, this kind of like Great Ape transformation Vegeta head sculpt thing. I will say, I'm not really liking how it looks that much right now, but it is just a gray prototype thing, so that might be why I'm not really very impressed with it. It might look better once they add some color and stuff like that, okay? I know Tonsen made something very similar with their, I think it's called Primitive Prince head sculpt set, which I do have. So we'll have to see how this progresses. Right now, I don't personally really like how it looks that much, but it might look better once they add color and stuff like that. I'll have to see, okay? What's next here? So another look at this Trunks thing. Okay, so he's got his hands there and all that. Once again, not sure if they're going to make a clone of this Trunks figure or if it's just like the leg, the base, the hands. Not sure. Okay, got that. Another look at it right there. And then you got these right here, Black Shark once again. So yeah, these look pretty cool. Of course, I've seen these. I think, honestly, the interesting thing is that I think these face sculpts, like these ones here, look better as physical products than as renders. And the renders already look pretty good, but I think the physical products look better than the renders. So that really says a lot. Like, that's really, I guess, what people should aim for generally, to make the product look better than the renders. But oftentimes, the renders look better than the product, you know? So there's that. Okay, I guess I'm not sure if they're going to add these extra head sculpts to the current pre-orders or what is going on with that. The details are not very clear right now to me. Now, Treasure Toys, in their treasure news, like, you know, news group chat kind of thing, they posted this right here, saying the image shows Gogeta Super Saiyan 4 modeled by Black Shark, and it might be made by other studios in the future. Okay, so the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta war is not over. We are currently in round 2, and the new contestants or competitors in the arena seem to be Black Shark and Kong / New Moon. Okay, Black Shark and Kong are both using leg designs similar to Tonsen. I think I prefer Tonsen to Black Shark. I think Tonsen's a bit more seamless in this area, but we'll have to see. But it does look well sculpted, artistically speaking, okay? Even if I don't like the design of the legs, I think artistically there's a lot of detail and stuff like that. And I don't know why Treasure Toys said it might be made by other studios in the future. Is Black Shark basically gonna like outsource this? Like basically like make the render and then like sell the render to another studio and they'll manufacture it or something, or collaborate with some other studio or something? I'm not really sure, but that's what the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is currently looking like. Of course, they have it disguised with the, like, you know, head sculpt and all that kind of stuff going on there. Now for DDG, or Jack_eBear, They posted this right here, which is basically the same thing as the GM Studio like manga style Goku head sculpt, right? So it looks very, very similar. Now you see how they have these scratches on the body and stuff? Like this kind of stuff can work, it can look good if they add the paint shading or whatever to really make them look like the anime. If it just looks like these dug out divots, then it looks kind of weird to me. Looks kind of like a skin disease or something, you know what I mean, man? So if they have color though, you add the paint or whatever, then they potentially could look good. But uncolored, just plain, like how Bandai doesn't shade the figures and stuff, like looking like that, I think it just would not look very great. So we'll have to see if they decide to make this, what the price is, all that stuff. I don't think I've ever seen any DDG products on Treasure Toys or Kang except for the new like MP and DDG Goku and Frieza set thing, okay? So whether they will have this, I don't know, but this was posted by them, all right? GM Studios. So Kang posted this right here just saying GM, and of course, this looks very similar to the manga. In fact, honestly, the manga art style right here is so simplistic that I think this might look somewhat better than the manga. Of course, the blade is not exactly the same as this panel. I mean, like the shape of the smoke and stuff is not exactly the same. But of course, they might, you know, they might have designed it a certain way to make it easier to manufacture and that kind of thing. So, but I do think this looks pretty cool, okay? And I am personally very, very glad to see studios, like more studios these days. I feel like it happens way more often now, where studios like they show their sculpt side by side with the manga, and you can tell that they're actually trying to make their products look like the source material, look like the anime and that kind of stuff, right? This is basically what Bandai should be doing. Bandai should be trying to make their products look like the anime, look like the manga, right? Not having this generic kind of stuff. If you want generic, basic, plain looking figures, let that be Dragon Stars, let that be Dragon Ball Evolve. But if we're talking about SH Figuarts, so-called premium Bandai, so-called premium prices and whatever, dude, I want to get artistic products that feel like I'm actually collecting an artistic collectible, okay, that looks like the source material. Basically articulated statues, basically, is what we should be getting, okay? So this is very cool. Very glad to see more studios doing that. I genuinely do appreciate, even if they don't like, you know, get it spot on every time, I at least appreciate the effort, the artistic effort to try to make it look like the source material. I do appreciate that personally. So you've got that going on there. Now, this is who? This is, oh, KK Studio. Isn't there more from GM? Is that it? I guess that's it. All right, so KK Studio. Oh, and then GM. So yeah, GM, of course, though, unfortunately with GM, this set might just be like, you know, 3 face sculpts and some hair. I don't know. Hopefully GM can, like, you know, offer better value at some point. But as far as right now, I don't think GM offers good enough value. Like, I appreciate artistically them trying to do this, but at the same time, like, the value, man. We need the value. We need the value, man. So KK Studio. KK Studio is making like this torso piece for kind-hearted Saiyan Goku to hide those gaps, okay? So it says SHF Bandai anti-leak modifications right there, okay? You got that. And then you got this, all right? And then you got this right here. And you got this, right? So yeah, it says ship on mid-July. I'm not sure whether that will truly happen or not, but that's what was said right there by Treasure Toys. And that accessory is also now up for pre-order at Treasure Toys. Of course, link in the description and on dbfigs.com, and I will cover that in more detail in the AliExpress section. Now, regarding this Super Saiyan, so KK Studio is also making some Goku Black head sculpts, okay? And so Courier News and KK Studio posted this saying, would you want to see this Goku Black head sculpt set to happen with compatibility for Dimensionia's current release? Let us know in the comments. I don't personally plan to get any of these Goku Black figures, Dimensionia or Vitoforge. I don't really have a need for them right now, artistically speaking or anything. So, you know, I think this looks, you know, I guess it looks kind of cool. I think I'd have to see like the source material, but yeah, so you got that. But this is very good value though. Like you're going to see later, like you're getting very good value for your money, in my opinion, if you purchase these KK Studio head sculpts, not like GM where you're just getting like 3 face sculpts and stuff, okay? So you've got this as well. And I think later on, I do have some images that were posted showing these side by side with the manga. So let's just try to, you know, go to those. Oh, like this, for example. So yeah, so this right here, once again, it seems they're really aiming for that manga art style. So I appreciate that. So I'd have to say it looks very similar to me, you know, very, very similar. So yeah, I appreciate seeing more studios doing this. You got this right here as well. Okay. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Good stuff, man. Good to see more studios aiming for this kind of thing. This is what Figuarts should be. I mean, why would Figuart not look like the art? That doesn't make any sense, does it? Doesn't make any sense. Like, this is what Figuarts should be. Okay, this is what Bandai should be striving for. You've got this right here as well. Okay, so let's see here. So yeah, he says that it's not KK, Korean News says that the sets will have a large amount of accessories. Okay, I guess they're going to be for Dimensionia, or it could be Vitoforge, not really sure. Let's see. Head sculpt hair pieces to demonstrate battle in fly and battle ground and power up. Let's see. We will also want to comment that compatibility for Vitoforge is mainly by KK Studio 09 decisions. We hope to hear more about more compatibilities for figures. Please stay tuned, okay? So I guess right now, these are for Vitoforge, but I think they might also include adapters for Dimensionia. I'm not sure, I gotta see. That might be in some other post or something. You got this as well right here. Now, I don't think this looks like super great, the yelling one, right? But it might look similar to some manga panel or something. I'd have to see the source material personally. But it does look way more expressive than like what Bandai tends to do though. So there's that for sure, okay? Okay, so here we go. So KK Studio. So this is like all the stuff you're getting with these KK Studio Goku Black sets. You're getting 7 face sculpts, 2 different kinds of hair, each one with 2 different bangs right there. And you're getting, let's see, these adapters for Dimensionia Studio VF adapter rod for Bandai 2.0 Goku Black. Okay, so I'm guessing that these are compatible. Yeah, it says accessories for Bandai 2.0 Goku Black. So I'm guessing they can work with the 2.0 Goku Black, but it says bonus, they also have adapter rods, I assume for Dimensionia and Vitoforge, okay? Now, will the skin tones match? That's another question. I'm not sure. But this is like, I think $40 something for these sets right here at Treasure Toys right now. So way better value than GM. You're getting more than twice what GM would give you for the same price or a similar price, man. So I definitely appreciate seeing KK Studio providing what I think is pretty good value for this set right here, okay? And then this is the Super Saiyan 1, which I guess is like the same expressions but just colored differently, okay? So you got that right there. Now, one thing that bothers me is that the teeth gridded is looking down. So there's no teeth gridded looking forward. As I've said before, I feel like the standard should be you have neutral looking forward, teeth gridded looking forward, yelling looking forward. As long as you have those 3, then you can add other stuff. But if you're missing one of those, then I feel like the set is incomplete. It kind of makes me not want to get the set, because if I use it for animation or something, every time the character's teeth gridded, I'm gonna have to like edit their eyes to look down or something like that, and like I just don't have time for that. So I'd probably not get this set just for that reason. It's just too time consuming, editing the eyes all the time. It's just too much work. No time for all that. It's too much, man. Because I mean, even like, and people don't understand, like, if you're doing photography, then it's fine. It's just like one photograph, edit the eyes, whatever. But if you're animating with like you know, tons of frames per second and stuff, dude, and you got the figure moving and all that, dude. You got to keep editing the eyes for so many frames. It's like, it's way too time consuming. So if the set doesn't have those 3 things looking forward, I probably will not get it. I'd rather edit the eyes to look down than have to edit them to look forward. It's just like, because oftentimes the characters are going to be looking forward. They're looking forward most of the time, you know what I mean, dude? But anyways, so yeah, Treasure Toys posted this as well. And as I said before, they do have pre-orders up now at their store on AliExpress, okay? Now let's see. It says each set has solid and transparent head sculpts and 7 face sculpts plus 2 connecting rods for compatibility with the Dimensionia Studio and VF Studio Goku Black body. Okay, so that is very cool. I'm glad to see they're trying to make it manga accurate and stuff like that. But the teeth gridded looking down, even if I wanted this, would probably be a deal breaker for me. Okay. Let's see. So Treasure Toys in the Treasure News thing posted this as well right here. A comparison to the manga. So you see that right there. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah. Glad to see more studios, you know, trying to replicate manga panels and stuff like that. That is very, very cool, man. Very, very cool. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Let's see. And Korean News posted this right here, but I wanted to show just this, like these things. Just some comparisons to the manga. So you've got this right here with that. Okay. Very, very cool. Very, very cool to see this. Very, very cool. All right. You got this as well right here. He's talking there, right? Very cool, man. Yeah. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. And then you've got this right here. Looking down. Now, I do think it looks good. It looks good. It's just that artistically, as far as animation goes, this would be too much of a pain to keep editing the eyes all the time. So for me, that would be a pass. But I do think artistically, this is cool. You know, like it's very, very cool. That's some cool stuff right there, man. And then we've got this one. I think we saw this earlier, right? So you've got that right there. Okay. Very, very cool stuff, man. Now, MP. So MP and DDG are making this kind of like set that includes some Goku face sculpts and hair sculpts and Frieza stuff and a base. Okay, so you've got 01A with like more pale kind of hair, 01B with more saturated yellow hair, and 01C, which is like Genki Damatsuri Goku kind of color scheme. Okay, so this is cool. Now I think, yeah, so once again, notice that on this set though, the neutral looking forward, they do have neutral looking forward, but the teeth gridded is looking down to the side and the yelling is looking to the side. So for me, that is a deal breaker. You know, when I first saw this, I was like, oh my, why would I get this for like Dragon Ball Thunder or something? But then I noticed the eyes looking to the side stuff. Like, yeah, that's a deal breaker for me personally. If these were looking forward, I might have strongly considered getting this, but editing those eyes, dude, is just too much. So yeah, I will probably not be getting this, but it is pretty good value, I think, you know, for your money. One thing I will say though is that like for animation and stuff, I wish that the wounds were like the same on every face sculpt, so that like, let's say you had Goku neutral and then yelling, the wounds would be the same and it would look consistent. You know what I mean? You don't want to have him like neutral and then when he yells, he has the red just show up, you know? So I wish that studios who did stuff like this would keep the wounds in the same pattern for each face sculpt, so that they would be consistent for like stop motion or animation, that kind of stuff. Like when they're different, dude, it just like, it would look very, very strange and inconsistent. So I don't really like that aspect of that, just because of like, you know, animation kind of stuff. But yeah, so they have a bunch of stuff, you know. Let's see, the contents are as follows: 3 pieces of rare hair, 3 pieces of front hair, 7 face sculpts, 1 special extra head sculpt for Frieza. Then you've got modified special abdomen part for Frieza right there, modified muscle arm part for Frieza, display base, this thing right here, okay, and then interchangeable adapter stand. I think that's probably going to be this like plastic stand here, which I assume is probably for Frieza to like basically float above this base. I guess it's kind of based on like the You Fool, you know, thing. And I did make an animation of that a while ago. I made the video private because when I made that animation, I used particle illusion for some of the special effects, but I used the free version. I didn't get a commercial license for it or whatever. So you're not supposed to like use free, basically you shouldn't like use particle illusion for free on like a monetized video. The video wasn't monetized. It wasn't monetized when I made that animation like probably 2 years ago or so, but my channel is monetized now. So that's why I made it private. I am probably gonna like email them and ask about the commercial use monetization thing, whether I can use it or not, if I'd have to like, you know, regenerate those special effects or buy a license or whatever, that kind of thing. So in the future, I might re-release that animation, but with like the whole commercial monetization stuff taken care of. I just don't want to have it like up on YouTube monetized when I shouldn't have it up with commercial use or whatever, you know what I mean? So I made the video private, but those of you who've been subscribed for a while would have already seen that in the past if you were here at that time, okay? So, and I will probably be making a new version of that or kind of refining it a bit with Dragon Ball Thunder at some point, right? So, let's see here, this right here. Oh, so I showed this because of the skin tone thing. So it seems some people were confused about the skin tones. This post right here says that the yellow, 01A light yellow, 01B yellow, compatible with Legendary Super Saiyan 3.0 base body, Seiya Super Saiyan base body, okay? And 01C compatible with weekly whatever that is, I assume the Genki Damatsuri Goku, okay? So basically 01A and B are, I assume, going to be the same skin tone as Legendary Super Saiyan Goku, but the 01C, this one with the white hair, is going to be like Genki Damatsuri Goku skin tone, okay? Which would make sense to me. So yeah, I think it's a cool set. If these were all looking forward, then I would probably have gotten this potentially, but, and if the wounds also, if the wounds were the same and stuff like that, so yeah. All right, moving on now. What else is there? So yeah, that's just like a closer look at A right there if you want to pause and look at that. You got B right here, okay. And then you've got C right here as well, okay. So what is this now? Let's see. Yeah, so same thing basically. A and B for Legendary Super Saiyan Goku, 01C for Genki Damatsuri Goku. Okay, that's what this post here is saying. Pre-orders for this are now up at Treasure Toys, okay, and the price is like, well, when I took this screenshot, $51.65. I think that's a very solid price considering all you're getting. You're getting 7 face sculpts for Goku, 3 different kinds of hair, this Frieza head sculpt, the Frieza abdomen piece, the Frieza arm piece, a base, a stand. Like, I think this is very good value, man. So thank you to MP and DDG for offering good value. I do appreciate seeing that personally. Moving on now to 6 Company. So Korean News and 4 others. I believe this store is called like Dragon Beads Store. I posted this, the primary poster here. It says in stock, shipped immediately or ship immediately. I've never used Dragon Bead Store, and as I've said before, I only provide links to stores I've used myself. So if you want to buy this from them, you'll have to go find it yourself. I don't have a link for that. But let's see. So here you have another image right here. And they do say here, stock is limited, buy now before it sells out, that kind of stuff, okay? So there's that. And you've got this image here. You've got this. Then you've got this right here. Okay, and then you've got this right here. Yeah, I know someone mentioned in the comments though that the mouth lines are not really visible, so that is a bit of an issue. Yeah, I don't know, there doesn't seem to be any paint in the mouth area at all. Kind of bizarre. His mouth is completely just, yeah. And then, so right here though, you've got that one, right? Got that. Then you've got this. And I think these look acceptable, you know. I don't think they're like the most amazing thing ever, but they're not like, I don't think they're trash either, you know. I think they can pass, more or less. Then you've got this right here. Okay, I like the hair color for sure. Hopefully Recustom does make their head sculpts. And if they do, I hope there's like a pale yellow option. Then you've got this. It looks a bit more saturated here. Not sure why. I hope the real product is closer to this color rather than, you know, this more saturated color right here. And cool. And so Vitoforge, so I guess Vitoforge has reissued their Goku Black figures, right? And Treasure Toys posted this saying this is a second batch of fixes, okay, for Vitoforge. And there's a review now available. The review, I believe, is in like, you know, I guess Mandarin or Cantonese, one of those perhaps, right? Let's see. So they said they mainly fixed the issue of like the joints being too stiff and stuff like that. That the first batch of buyers reported. And they said there's a pretty big difference between Vitoforge Dimensionia. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know whether the issue of like, because first of all, I don't understand how Vitoforge reissued these and the accessories are still red. Like, why are these not pink, dude? Like, they should be pink. What is this? It's very strange to me. I figured they would have fixed that on a reissue, but no, they're still red. And I'm not sure whether these accessories will like stain the hand still, because that was like a big issue I saw people talking about, the hands getting stained from holding like the scythe and stuff. Not sure if that has been fixed, okay? So I guess buy at your own risk. I'm not sure what is going on with that. But anyways, it is in stock at Treasure Toys according to this image here, okay? I think the 4547 is for just a body though, not the full figure and stuff like that, okay? And then finally we have XH Lion. So XH Lion has re-emerged. And I'm really rooting for XH Lion. I'm hoping that, you know, they can deliver a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta that is better than both Tonsen and DF to kind of get the best of both worlds, I guess. Now, regarding the face sculpt here, I can see like the potential. I can see the potential. I think perhaps these lines are too dark, too thick and too dark right there, perhaps. So if I hide those with my hands, I'm not sure. And his skin tone looks a bit pale. Looks a bit pale. Like, I kind of like how this looks, but I can also see the room for improvement. So I'm not sure. Now, let's see here. Courier News said XH Lion, new head sculpt adjustments and face sculpts tests. New information will be exclusively shared here on Courier News. It isn't a project yet, as there's printing tests and adjustments. Your support is immensely appreciated. Now, as far as I know, this is a full figure. It's not just like some head sculpts. And when I saw the body, I did like how the body looked. So I'm really rooting for XH Lion, man. I'm hoping that they can deliver something awesome. I don't know. I don't know how they can improve this. I'd say like, you know, just find a frame of the anime, dude, GT. Just find a frame of the anime and just sculpt that. You know what I mean, man? So very interesting, the nose. I guess they're really aiming for how the noses are drawn in the anime, potentially. So that is interesting. We'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. As I said, I am rooting for XH Lion. I want to see them make a good product. So we'll have to see how this progresses. But my advice would just be find the anime, find a frame of the anime, and just try to sculpt that. Just like try to make a 3D version of that. You know, don't just like kind of like sculpt from memory or stuff like that. Like actually look at the source material as you're sculpting and try to basically like clone that in a 3-dimensional way. You know what I mean, man? So we'll have to see how that progresses. Now, let's move on to AliExpress, the last section of today's recap. Alright, so first, like last time, I do have this code here, which I assume is a personalized affiliate discount code for AliExpress. Last time I said $9.99 available, now it says $9.98. So I'm guessing someone used one. Thank you, whoever you are, for using that code. It says you can save $148 US on orders over $26.68. Now keep in mind, this does not seem to work on every single figure or every single product. Only on some listings do I see this code available in my like affiliate interface, okay? Not on every figure. So you're gonna have to try it and see if it works or not, okay? It might not work for everything. Now, Black Shark. So as I said before, Treasure Toys does have pre-orders up for the Black Shark Goku stuff. You have O2A, O2B, and O2AB, which is both combined. Not sure whether this, like for example, like O2A or O2B, if they include head sculpts. It looks like they do, but then I don't get why the ×2, the head sculpts are circled, like, but they're also shown here. So I don't know what exactly is going on, right? But it seems that O2A is like anime color and O2B is like manga color. Okay, so very interesting right there. Now I wanted to point this out. The DF Kaioken Goku that was like $80 something before is now $32.87. So it is possible that the reason why the price was so insane was because of some sort of like, you know, AliExpress discount thing wearing off or whatever, and not necessarily because Treasure Toys was scalping. So if that was the case, then I was wrong about Treasure Toys scalping this figure, okay? If that wasn't the case and they lowered the price, like say they were scalping and now they're not scalping anymore, then they were scalping. But anyways, the price is $32.87. If you want this, up to you. I think it's a pretty decent figure, especially for the price, and I have an offer right here for $2 off, okay? And keep in mind, like, sometimes on AliExpress, if you see insane price tags, it might not be the store scalping. It might just be like, you see how right here it says $67.08, 51% off? Basically what they do is they list it at an insane, well, not insane price, it's not that insane, I guess, but they list it at a high price and then apply a discount so it looks like you're saving money, like, oh, it's 50% off, when that's really the price it should be. It's kind of like, I guess, some kind of like business tactic to make it seem like, oh, look, you're saving money if you buy this, that kind of thing. But that is really the price it should be, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So anyways, Treasure Toys might not have been scalping with this figure, I'm not sure, but the price is normal now. As for Dimensionia Goku Black, 01A is still here, 01B as well, 01C gone. But they do have another listing over here. Does that one have the hair? No. This listing over here has transparent hair sculpts right there. 01A available, 01B available, and 01C. Now this one, I believe, is a pre-order, okay? I think A and B are available right now, but C is a pre-order, I'm pretty sure, because C like sold out and all that kind of stuff, and you will see the price is higher than the others. So Treasure Toys is of course scalping 01C, 97.12, 01B 90.89, and 01A 90.89. And as I said before, Treasure Toys has this up. Remember, they made that post a while ago saying, oh, we know people can't get this for a good price anymore, so we contacted the studio and we're gonna get a new batch and, you know, sell them for a lower price. And it's like, yeah, if you were doing that, if you were truly doing that in a truly benevolent way, then you would have it be the same price as the others or the original price or whatever. You wouldn't have it at 97.12 when these are just 90.89 or whatever. Clearly you're still exploiting the price, okay? So you can't act like you're fighting against scalping, or, oh, we're trying to provide you a good price, and then you're still scalping, dude. What is the point of that? What is the point of that? Then just don't talk about it then. Just shut up then, okay? If you're gonna scalp the figure, why talk about the fact that the figure's being scalped and you're trying to like help bring a lower price or whatever? Because let's say the highest price is like $130, right? And you list it for $100, which is what it is right now. It's like, dude, you're still scalping it. You're not scalping it as much as some others possibly, but you're still scalping it, okay? If you truly did this in some purely benevolent way, you would charge the original price or charge the same price as these others right here, but you're still scalping, okay? Continuing now, another listing right here. This one, transparent hair sculpts as well. Did I have 3 listings for this thing? Yeah, dude. Oh no, this is Kang. Oh, this is Kang. All right, my apologies there. This is Kang. Kang is the one scalping this thing right here. Okay, I apologize, Treasure Toys. But are they scalping over here? That's the question. So that was Kang right there. Let's see, 01A 90.92. Okay. 01B 90.92. Now let's see the price of 01C. Let's see. Oh, it's 90.92. Good stuff, Treasure Toys. Good stuff, man. Okay. I apologize, Treasure Toys. You're not scalping 01C right now. At least it's the same price as the others, let's say that, okay? So, ship within 12 hours. Ship within 12 hours. Ship on July. Okay, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Okay, they're all the same price. Treasure Toys is not currently scalping 01C. Will they scalp it in the future? I don't know, but I thought this was Treasure Toys. This is actually K. My bad. All right. Moving on now. So Treasure Toys has the Dimensionia Great Saiyan up for pre-order right here. I think this is very good value. I mean, dude, you're getting so many accessories, like insane accessories, dude. $94.95. I think it's probably worth it, man. You're getting a lot of stuff, dude. You're getting a lot of stuff, man. And shipping's free as well. Okay, so yeah, you know. And then the 01C right here, well, the C version, the battle damage version is right here, a bit cheaper, $83.21. Get a bunch of stuff there as well. Now this one might be a bit expensive for what you're getting. It might be a bit expensive here. This one might be a bit expensive, but it does have like what, how many face sculpts? 1 2 3 4 5 6 12 face sculpts, 3 different kinds of hair, crossed arms, a bunch of hands, this accessory here. Okay, the price might be passable-ish, possibly, because you get a bunch of face sculpts. I don't know. I might do a scamculation. I do think this one though, like you're getting a bunch of stuff, getting all the glasses, the bag, the helmet, the bandana. Like you're getting so much stuff with this one. I think this one is probably better value than this one, even though this one is more expensive. You know what I mean? So I might do scamculation for this. I might do a scamculation and see what the price ends up being. Potentially, okay? Moving on now, let's see. This one right here, this is also Treasure Toys, $83.21. They have 2 listings for the same stuff. And you can also buy all 3 together if you want right here. If I were to buy these, I would probably buy 01A, the A version, and the C version. I don't really care about the, you know, I assume manga colored version here. Moving on now, KK Studio. So as I said before, I think this is pretty good value right here. $41.91 free shipping, and you can also get $5 off right here. That's the offer that I have, at least, and you can try that discount code, see if that works too, to save even more. So $41.91. Yeah, man, you get a bunch of stuff right here. You get 7 face sculpts, 2 different kinds of hair, these 2 adapter rods or whatever, the neck pegs. So yeah, man, I appreciate that right there. KK Studio offering, I think, pretty solid value as far as, like, you know, head sculpts are concerned. And then MP and DDG, the base and Goku head sculpts and Frieza stuff and all that right here. $52.64 free shipping. I think this is pretty solid value as well. Not sure how large the base will be, but you're getting like 7 face sculpts, the Frieza head sculpt, abdomen piece, the muscle piece, the base, the stand. Like, this is way better value than like GM, for example, man. So if you were thinking about getting those GM head sculpts, I'd say honestly, dude, it's probably better to get this instead. You know, you get way more value for your money. And it's interesting because I wonder if these like Frieza accessories will have the battle damage painted on. I don't think that would make any sense because like the official full power Frieza doesn't have those details painted, nor the DB Toys version, so it's probably better to leave them plain so they can match those figures. But you could probably buy the DB Toys Frieza figure and this, and when this releases, you can use these accessories with the DB Toys Frieza potentially, you know? So there's that. And then Kong, their Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta figures, called like New Moon. Well, their new name, I guess, is New Moon. And this is called Ninja Cat. You've got this one here, this, and this. Okay, $89.49 free shipping for these. I also have an offer for $5 off right there. And then finally, Vitoforge from Treasure Toys. Now, this just says buy now. It doesn't say pre-order. So I'm assuming these are in stock. But it's weird because this says first batch. And this one doesn't say anything about batch or anything. But it says 01B. These, though, they don't say whether it's like first batch, second batch, whatever. so I'm not sure whether these are like the reissued versions or the original version. I really couldn't tell you, okay? But I do see an offer for $5 off right there. So there's that. And I think I did a scamculation for this, and it worked out that the price was not that much of a scam, if at all, considering the whole tariff thing and shipping being included and stuff like that, you know? So I don't think these figures are necessarily a complete ripoff. And I guess that does kind of, yeah, because you get the face sculpts here too. So that might also work in favor of the, where is it, the Gohan, the Great Saiyan stuff. This might work out to be a decent price as well, considering the amount of face sculpts you get and stuff like that, and this accessory and stuff, you know. So might be a decent price even on this one. I do think these ones though, for sure though, I do think these are probably like really good value, but I might do specific scamculations in the future. But anyways guys, that's it for the Dragon Ball figure recap. Be sure to subscribe if you want to be updated on Dragon Ball figures. Once I update dbfigs.com with like any new pre-orders and new figures and stuff like that, I'll make a post probably on Saturday, just giving you kind of like a weekly rundown of all the stuff I've updated and stuff like that. And I will include the discount code in that post as well, just so if anyone hasn't seen it or whatever, or you know, didn't know about it, you'll see it there and stuff like that too. Anyways guys, thanks for watching, and bye for now.